presenter. I am a third year student, not an academic or a PhD student, as many of you might have asked previously. First and foremost, I would like to thank Katina for giving me this opportunity to present my case study on Dopplr. Hopefully you'll be entertained and notified of such an application that exists so far. Social networking, such as MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, made a major impact on the way communication and the way we view information related to other people has transformed in the past couple of years. However, a new rise of networking has come about with the introduction of location-based social networking. No longer are the days of simple landline phone calls or emails to be necessary in order to do such things. It seems that the prominent feature of today's society is the need to know where people are located, where they are at a certain point in time, a specific day, specific night, whatever. Who in the room has heard of Dopplr? And I don't mean the game Dopplr. Fantastic, I see a couple over there. Dopplr is a location-based social networking service that allows travellers around the world to notify each other of where they are and what they do. In my presentation today, we'll kind of our outline as follows. There will be an overview of Dopplr, the target markets that it specifically tries to target, the process of adoption, the snapshot of how it looks, a feel of the website, the devices, technology, and the location features, more focused on the privacy policies, the positive issues, negative issues, and a bit of the concern which I have at the end. So this is our outline of what the front page website looks like. It doesn't give you much as what the website actually does. It's a beautiful picture of a city. That's fantastic and all. But it has Dopplr makes your travel planning smarter. The real sense of understanding what Dopplr is you actually have to sign up to understand what it really means and what it really does. So I think that's probably a positive feature that Dopplr has in assessing and getting people to view their website, is the unknown factor. So what is Dopplr? Dopplr is a service for smart international travellers. I put smart in quotations as might be a bit different when I'll explain the bit of issues associated with that. Dopplr members share their personal and business travels plans privately, again outlined because it cannot always be private, with their networks and exchange tips on places to stay, eat and explore to their friends and the outside community in cities around the world, a bit of a social atlas. Dopplr defines social atlas as, put simply, that it lets you create a list of interesting places you've been to inform in your hometown or around the world, and to share this information with your network. As we can see on this slide, we can view that there's a collective intelligence given by others. Collective intelligence meaning you can find out your information as explained by the social atlas and expand it to everyone else to understand as well. The outline coincidences, as seen on the slide, we have a collective issue of the Eiffel Tower. You actually had to sign in, if you want to see a place, explore the Eiffel Tower, for example, you can locate where it is. And at this point in time, I was pretending to be a person from Liverpool, and it notified me that it's within 1 kilometre of my distance. The coincidences, as outlined, there's pictures of people who have uploaded photos of the places, and the second circle is the coincidences, which I was trying to explain with the collective intelligence. As former people who have visited that website have uploaded or streamed their messages of their experiences, the personal experiences of that site. Our overview continued, locating people and places. So once you have created a profile, the network allows members to make their profile public or not, or to invite friends. It's similar to every other social networking such as Facebook, Twitter, MySpace in that sense. The use of this network allows members to view and be informed whether friends are visiting your hometown on their trips and the duration of the trip. So Dopplr will also notify you via email or through your account if you're going to be away during your friend's trip to your hometown. The outline coincidences in the circle informs you that the people will be home during your visit to their hometown, and the website encourages meeting these people and encourages being friends and being friendly towards them, because they are essentially your friends. And it is vice versa. If your friends are able to be informed whether your friends will be able to be informed of whether you are scheduled to be in your hometown during their visits of your hometown. So the target market, who does Dopplr target? There is no specific sect, but as they outlined, it's smart travellers. The target market is available for anyone over the age of 18 who are travellers or who are just looking for places to travel and opinions of such places. So, the process of adoption. How does one opt into Dopplr? It's very simple, which begs the question of whether it has good security or not. All you have to do is just type in your first name, your last name, your home city, not your address, email, and your password, and you're often ready to use it. The application allows you to share your information and data with other 2.0 interfaces as well. So, once you have opted into the site, as shown on the slide, the application automatically suggests that you invite friends to join, always. And if you click no thanks, the application again will suggest make sure you invite friends so that you can have the full access of the total website. Which begs the question, is this application adding in the conformity of society of location-based networking? There's a snapshot of my fake personal account, which is, as we move on, we are presented with the overview of our account with multiple tabs, such as your overview. So, for example, on Monday the 7th, I was in my hometown of Wollongong, obviously. It notifies you of the trips, the places you would like to visit or are going to visit, your fellow travellers, and also it identifies your carbon footprint on the world around you, which was quite interesting. As seen on slide 12, I pretended to be visiting Liverpool in UK as just to find out what this carbon actually meant. And it says your carbon usage is now private, which I don't really understand. I presume that no one else can know how much carbon I'm producing by travelling to Liverpool, but I'll have to find out later on. On this site, it identifies my carbon footprint to be made up to the trip to Liverpool. The tool it uses is IEEE, which is down here, and it supports the data and algorithms provided for the greenhouse gas emissions calculations required to support the Global Reporting Initiative, GRI, the Carbon Reduction Commitment, and other initiatives. I referenced that from their actual website. So the devices, what kind of end user device do you require to opt into this social location-based networking service? It requires either a smartphone, iPhone, or any phone that has internet access. This network can be viewed not just using their URL website, but you can use the following to update your locations and trips, such as Zing, Facebook, Twitter, email, mobile, SMS, Google Calendar, and also to your home personal blogs. The technology. What technology is being utilised to perform the location fix? Genome's database is used to locate the places. However, this technology does not operate such as Google Street View. It just shows you a bird's eye view of the different location places around the world. It doesn't zoom in, which is good. What other technologies are relied upon? Say, if you wanted to view the website on your mobile phones, Dopplr has created a new mobile website that can be used. The website has a similar design than the main website. However, it optimises for smaller screens and lower bandwidth. The location features. Is there a pinpoint accuracy of where you are as GPS? Not necessarily. Dopplr doesn't zoom in like Street View. However, it uses Google Maps to locate the places you're staying. Sorry, made a typo there, I just noticed. Eating and visiting in that trip. As you will see on the next slide, I'll show you guys. What is the reliability like? Being that it is not actually pinpointing your whereabouts, it is fairly reliable in streaming your messages on your profile unless you deceive it. What I mean by deceiving is that in using false details. In a sense, I deceived the application by creating 2 fake accounts in order to understand the functionality of the application and how it relates to one another. And what I mean by not pinpointing your whereabouts, there is no GPS feature of this application. And does it work in all countries? Because there is no GPS, of course it does, and the geonomes locations basically just shows you an atlas of the worlds around. So as we can see on slide 16, it's not actually pinpointing of your whereabouts. My friend, which lived in Chicago, which was me, pretending to be John Doe, just notifies you with the picture, their screen picture of where they are, and he was in Chicago, and that's all it notifies you. The location of the friend is not moving, but I can visually see the streets surrounding and the areas of the friend's location around it. On slide 17, there is this collective intelligence again in the leaf tip circle, highlighted by the circle down the bottom. This website has the main feature of it is the collective intelligence, is notifying other travellers of the places and tips and other things to let them know of to visit it or not to visit it or not. So it's a positive in that sense. The privacy policy. Okay. According to Roger Clark, the privacy chair of the Australian Privacy Foundation website, suggests that in order to have a good privacy policies, it should cover issues such as data collection, data usage, security, disclosure, retention, or data deletion. However, Dopplr did not have a conventional privacy policy statement, as most websites would have. The only privacy it did have was the terms of condition. The terms of condition stated that the users are solely responsible for protecting their passwords and actions on their accounts. There was no comment on how Dopplr or if Dopplr are to use your data for marketing or financial gain for themselves. There was no comment on the storage of your data or whether your data is secure or not. Also, there was no information about minor usage of the site. As we noticed previously, when we were opting into the website, you didn't have to provide your date of birth. So there is no way that they were actually protecting minors, or I didn't even understand when they were trying to provide us with the target market why they even had an age of 18 years or older when they're not even monitoring that. So basically the terms of conditions did not adhere to a proper privacy policy, and as such I feel that people aren't protected or have the notion of feeling that they are protected by this. However, Dopplr does have some positive issues which we'll now outline. There was easy usage and organising. So the application allows the individual to have great organisation of their travel plans and updates of places, locations that are around you. This application will definitely help those on a Kentucky tour. Say you've lost your tour guide and they said, oh, we'll be at this place, and you want to find out quickly. As the previous presenters told us, you can easily look at your screen without even asking people or another tourist guide around you using an iPhone or internet access somewhere. So it could be positive by saving you time, in a sense. There's a consumer benefit with the collective intelligence again. It is also good in a way where users can blog about their trips, or if they enjoyed a certain restaurant, hotel, or places to explore. It is a sort of a consumer feedback, which is positive because they have no real gain in posting their opinions, so you can actually have the true feedback that they're giving. And the deletion of records. When I deleted my 2 false accounts, they did send me my file of my records and my trips. However, there is a but. There was no information of whether they will or will not archive my information for future references. So I'm still unsure as to if they still have my records or they don't. Or was a copy that they sent me back? Still unknown. The negative issues that were outlined major one was security. Upon checking the security of the website, I falsely typed in an incorrect password up to 10 or more attempts, and it did not lock me out or did not close down the website, didn't do anything. There was no password protection or optimal levels such as low to high levels as seen in other websites. There was no secret word or secret question. that only the user would know. There is no timeout of the browser or anything like that. Basically, if a person is adamant into hacking your account, they eventually will get in and have full access to everything of your location, where you're off to next, providing that your information that you're giving on Dopplr is not false. Also, there were some negative issues on the feeds of RSS streams. RSS streams is rich site summary, is a format for delivering regular changing web content. It identified, well, what does this mean for us Dopplr users? As identified in their statements, such format remains in contact so that live feeds from yourself can be uploaded onto your Dopplr blog. The user is responsible for making their feeds private. However, it doesn't notify you that your feeds are not private. You have to find that out for yourself, which you might forget to do. And so what happens if you don't privatize your feeds? They can be picked up by search engines, which means anybody who has web access will be able to view your content without your knowledge. And finally, to finish off, I have a little bit of a concern to share with you all. My opinion is that this can be a great tool to keep your travels and trips on track and organised. However, being used as a social network is a bit of a concern. For one, the security of the site is not substantial and good enough to protect the individual of his or her profile being hacked into. Second, the privacy policy was not substantial enough to protect individuals. Third, because of this, it didn't feel like a professional and safe website to notify people, even if you do know them, in depth about your travel plans, such as flight times, plane number, hotels you're staying at, the length of trips, or the restaurants. The flight times and the plane number was not implemented, but I read a media release given by Dopplr that they will put that in as a new thing. And terrorism, as we all know, is one of those factors. And if you do give your true accounts, as with anyone, Ashton Kutcher and his Twitter, he was the first one to have 1 million followers. If you have the same thing here, that could be of concern. Personally, I will not use this website to blog my travel plans in detail. However, I will use the information purposes such as where the hotspots are to eat or places to explore whilst in the particular city. Also, I will just view it as sort of a Google or a wiki reference, just to identify and see what other people have told or mentioned about the restaurants or places I want to visit in the near future. So thank you very much. Is there any questions? Yeah.
The sense I get is this picture quite a young user group potentially that would be saying that there's this sense of history and sense of organization, sense of justice based and focusing on blogs. Do you agree with that view?
That it's targeted to younger people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's pretty limited in what older people want in a website, as in security and everything like that. It is obviously targeted to younger people, and hopefully even mainstream. If one person uses it, then you need another person to use it to create your network in order for it to be beneficial for it to work. So of course it is targeted to us young people, more so. Pardon? Sorry. Well, I don't know. I really had no idea that Dopplr even existed unless I did this. I'm not sure how they make their money from it. I presume from not even the RSS feeds, but from the genomes, the tracking. I'm not sure how they make their money from it. I do apologise for that. Sorry.
They're probably an affiliate of Lonely Planet because they were feeding comments to Lonely Planet, right? According to this one.
Yeah, sorry, thank you for that. Any other questions?
Why would people want to know everything you're doing? And why would you want everyone to know? I mean, I was here. I mean, it assumes that everybody's looking at your...
Yeah, it's a good question.
Your interest of the life is you.
Well, if you're a single, I do apologise if you're your only child. You want to feel a part of something, a part of a network, you want to feel important. I do feel that this is a way you can feel that you're a part of something greater than yourself, greater than your personal space. And I have no idea, but I don't even know why people would update tomorrow. It's basically like Facebook. Why do people use Facebook? Or why do people use Twitter? It's because everyone else is using it. In order to stay connected with everyone else, you sort of have to conform with society in such a way where you understand it, or you can either communicate with other people also. So it's one way, as I said before, it's a way of feeling a bit important. Another way is keeping up with the rest of society as well.
I do think that there are people that are interested, maybe marketers.
Yeah.
Where you're going, what your places, the things you know, they're interested in.
Oh, of course they're interested, yeah. And as I explained before, I don't even know whether even the data that was given is secure, or whether they're given to advertisers. It's not stipulated or explained in the website whatsoever.
Anyone else?
Thank you.